Welcome to Animated Discussions. My friends call me D, and today we're sad. So sad. So for those of you who don't know, I'm watching the top 101 movies in the world based on statistics and comments and reviews. And today's movie is Grave of the Fireflies.
Why, God? Why?
For those of you who haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies, it follows two siblings, Seta and Setsuko, in 1945 during World War II. I have been avoiding this movie.
You can't make me.
But we're here now, so that's great. So let's just dive right into it. Grave of the Fireflies, as I said before, follows two siblings. The first line in the movie, depending on if you watch it in Japanese or English, goes basically something like, on the night of September 21st, 1945, I died.
Wow, beautiful. Right off the bat.
And that's how the movie starts.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
We suddenly start to go back in time to see when the kids are alive.
I live.
And the first thing we find out is that they are running from a bomb raid.
Already?
They make it safely, they get to shelter, and as they're lining up to check in, someone pulls Seta aside and says, your mom got injured, you should check on her, I'll watch your sister. He goes, his mom is covered in bandages, blood seeping through, and it's like a jump scare almost, because it just cuts to her, and she's in so much pain, she's heavily breathing. The doctors say it took forever to get her to go to sleep. It's just a very hard scene to watch, and it's fascinating to see it. He goes back to his sister and tries to say, well, mom's not feeling well, we'll visit her later. They're gonna take her to the hospital eventually, we'll visit her when she's at the hospital. And Setsuko gets really sad. And you see Seta kind of pull away from Setsuko and go sit down after it's very gentle, but he's kind of like putting his foot down, saying, we can't see mom right now, we'll see mom later. And so he goes to walk away, kind of like an end of discussion type moment. And we cut to kind of a wide where all we see is Seta's back, and we see Setsuko off to the side, and her back's to the camera at first, and then she kind of turns at a three-quarter angle, and then she crouches down and just starts crying. And it cuts to the side profile of Seta and then back to the full of them. And you see Seta just sitting there for a while, and then he jumps up and he goes, hey, watch this. And he goes on the monkey bars and kind of spins and spins and spins, and he's trying to be silly for his sister in that moment, and it's not working. And that scene is so hard because they stay on that scene for a good amount of time, and you see Setsuko's devastation and Seta trying to make it better, knowing that he's not, but not knowing what else to do. And it's a very uncomfortable scene to watch. And Miyazaki and Ghibli stay on that scene for a long time. In my mind, it's a long time. It's like 15-20 seconds. But if you sit still for 15-20 seconds, it feels like forever, you know? And I think it's this beautiful moment of we need to sit and acknowledge this pain. So it keeps going. It gets to the point where they're so stressed out about it that they decide to go to the beach. And it's a really beautiful scene here that they're going to the beach, because once they get there, Seta tells Setsuko, okay, take off your clothes, let's go into the water. And we watch this really slow progression. She takes her time taking off her clothes. And I really like this scene because it shows the development stage that she's at. It really emphasizes that she's 4 years old. Her hand-eye coordination, her motor skills, she's still developing them. She can't fully take things off quickly. It takes time to take things off. And there's a beautiful innocence that is emphasized here in this shot of we're gonna have the patience of a child for this scene. We're gonna watch this child try to get these clothes off. And it shows how young she is and how much she is learning and growing in the midst of all this chaos. I think it's a really poignant shot, because I think it emphasizes the innocence and the childhood the part of childhood she is in.
Beautiful.
Later, when they're home, the aunt, my favorite character,
Nods.
talks about how they can make a lot of money selling their mom's kimonos. Setsuko's in the same room, but she's supposed to be asleep. And she's like, we can get like 15, I don't remember the amount, but it's a good amount of rice. And this is Seta's like, oh, we can get that much? And she's like, yeah, and I'll give you guys a portion. I'm like, give you a portion? So she goes to take them and sell them, and she wakes up and she's like, no, those are my mom's. I don't want to get rid of them. And she's like, oh, I didn't realize you were awake. Yoink. And I was just like, she can't keep one? And like, they cut to a scene after Seta pulls her away and she's crying and screaming. They cut to a scene where they're taking a family photo real quick. It's in the past, and both their parents are there. They take the family photo, and after Setsuko hugs their mom and just rubs her face against the kimono. And for me, it was subtle. I didn't catch it till the second time, but it's like, that's why she doesn't want the kimonos. It's that memory that she's holding on to, of just like feeling safe and happy and just hugging her mom and like rubbing her face against the kimono. And it's, heartstrings, gone. Do we need heartstrings? No, apparently not. Woosah.
Yes, let it out.
Anywho, as time progresses, they end up hiding in a cave during one of the raids, and Setsuko goes, I don't want to go back to the aunt's house. And so Seta's like, well, let's just stay here. Let's stay in this cave. So they take out some money, they buy some supplies, they go pack up their aunt's, and Seta bows to her and says, thank you for letting us stay with you. We're going to move out now.
I'm leaving.
It's fine. I'm fine.
She was not fine.
There's a scene where they're living in the yard or in the cave, and Setsuko keeps getting bitten by bugs. So Seta's like, I'll cook, you go inside. But she comes back outside, and he's like, you're going to get eaten alive. Like, why? She's like, it's dark in the cave. I don't like being in there alone. And so he collects fireflies. Again, the fireflies come back. And releases them in their mosquito net in the cave. And so it's lit up in there. And so they get to kind of sleep with some lights that night.
How sweet!
So the next morning, they wake up, and Setsuko wakes up before Seta, and she is digging like a hole. And Seta goes to see what's going on. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And she says, I'm burying the fireflies. They died last night. And she says something along the lines of like, Mama's gone too, isn't she? Ah! And Seta just like, his whole face just like contorts, and he gets so sad, and he starts to like silently sob, and she says, Auntie said something. I heard Auntie. And then she turns to him as he's silently crying, and she says, why do the fireflies die so quickly? Listen, my heart was already wrenching. Just rip it out, why don't you, at this point? It's, oh my gosh, it's devastating. It's devastating, and it's this horrible, painful thing where you see, first of all, it basically explains the title of the movie of just like things ending too soon. It's also Setsuko asking, why is mom gone so fast? It's also foreshadowing for us, which isn't foreshadowing because we know the kids die, but just like the children don't last as long as they should. They die very young. And it's that one line coming from the youngest character in the movie is just devastating. Oh, it's devastating. It kills me. And blah, blah, blah. And so he says, we'll go see her. Do you remember the cemetery? She's under the giant tree. And then you see these two fireflies who are alive go back in the cave and circle around the box that has his mother's ashes. and then fly away and disappear. And it's this thing of like, he's still not telling her that their mom is with them and has been with them this whole time. I think he's still trying to protect her. And it's just so sad. The whole scene is just so sad.
Is sad.
And one thing that's very interesting to me in this movie is that none of the adults look malnourished. None of the adults look sick. None of the adults are drawn with some form of handicap, as like hungry or dirty clothes. And I feel like that's intentional, of just like, it's so hard to watch because it's like no one has any options for these kids. Are they really just not helping these kids, or are they barely surviving? I know things aren't easy during wartime, but it seems like a small town where everyone knows each other. I don't know. I really struggle with that, where all the adults just seem like they don't care and they seem healthy. And I wonder if that is through the eyes of the kids, how they're perceiving everything, or if that's the reality of the situation, because everyone was struggling. It's wartime, but I can't wrap my mind around it, you know? I don't know.
Next.
As we see him at the bank taking the rest of the money out, hearing that the war is over and that they've lost, and he's shocked. He's like, we've lost? We surrendered? He's like, what about the naval officers? He's like, and someone's like, they were bombed ages ago. He's like, does that mean my dad? And this guy's like, I don't know, kid, go away. And I'm just like, stop ignoring these children.
She's angry.
Every adult in this movie pisses me off. Every adult. And the rage is like crawling through my skin.
Flames on the side of my face.
Just anyway, it's so hard to watch. And he goes outside, and as he's walking, he just keeps saying, Dad's gone. Dad's gone. Dad's gone. And the first time I watched this movie, that scene was sad, but it didn't really hit me. Second time I watched this movie, I lost someone last year, and I remember getting really drunk one night, not really knowing why I'm getting drunk. It just kind of happened. I don't know how I got home. I got home safely. And I remember stumbling in the house just saying, he's gone. My friend's gone. My friend's gone. And I'm like tripping over myself and falling on the floor. And I'm like, all I can say over and over and over again is, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. And by the time I'm making this video, he died 7 months ago. And I think that was 2 months after he had died. And I don't always know how I'm feeling about things until they kind of burst out of me. And that was one of those moments where I was like, oh, I'm really not okay. Because I kind of hid how I've been feeling about his death. And so watching that scene was so real to me this time, of like, I know that feeling of like, all you can say over and over again is that they're not here anymore. Like, it's like your body's trying to compute it. And it's a heavy scene.
Make it stop!
As he leaves to go cook, she turns to him and says, Seta? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, thank you. And he smiles, kind of relieved, and he goes to cook. And the next line is, Setsuko never woke up. And for her last words to say thank you, there's a gravity there of her understanding everything he did for her, as much as a 4-year-old can. And it's just a really devastating moment of seeing and knowing that you tried everything you could and it wasn't enough. He did everything he could for her. He fought so hard for her. And it wasn't enough.
Keep it together, I am.
I didn't even realize I took off my glasses. But anyways, it shows later that like you see that they don't eat. He doesn't even touch the food that he made. I was like, there's no point at this point. He made it for her. He was too late, and he was trying to ration the money as much as he could, you know, and
it's like somebody's ripping out my heart.
cuts to this family returning to their home after the war, and they're so excited, and they're like, I've missed this view. It's so good to be home. Thank goodness the war is over. And they play a song on the record player, and the song's later called, I realize it's Home Sweet Home. And while that song is playing, you watch Setsuko be a kid. You see everything Setsuko did while she's waiting for Seta to come back from finding food or scavenging or stealing during the bombs. And she's like on the swing, and she's cooking, and she's catching bugs and running around. And again, it shows that innocence again of her just running around. And she puts on I think it's a bowl upside down to look like a navy hat, and then it like falls off because it's too big for her head, and it's just
Will this ever end?
Then the movie ends basically with them playing in a field, and Setsa tells Setsuko, you ready for bed? And she nods, and they're sitting on a bench, and she lays her head on his lap. And for a second, it looks like he's looking directly at the camera, like he's looking directly at you, and it's very jarring for me. I'm like, oh. And it's this like, it's almost like a how did you feel watching my story? And then it cuts to behind, like, a wide of him on the bench with Setsuko, and then you see a city, and it looks like a modern day city, so it's like it shows that they're still there, just living as ghosts, and time passes without them. And y'all, this movie's heavy. You know, and so well done, so beautiful.
It's done.
So that's Grave of the Fireflies. This is such a heavy episode. It's a crazy one to start the top 100 on. I know we had 2 other videos, but I couldn't not post those 2, you know? And so, yeah, this is an intense one. In the top 100 on that list, based on the stats, Grave of the Fireflies is number 29. For me, I'm going to put it at number 18 for now. It's number 18 on my list, because I don't like to rate sad movies higher. But this hits all the feels, it hits all the emotion. If you haven't seen it, I beg of you to go watch it. It's some of the best animation that's ever graced animation ever. The storytelling is beautiful. Watching Seta rewatch his life makes it gut-wrenching. Happy moments are touched with sadness because you know how it ends. It reminds me of Merrily We Roll Along, if you've ever seen that play, where it starts at the end of someone's life and it goes backwards. And the end of the play is the beginning of their life, and they're very optimistic and very hopeful, and you want to celebrate that hope with them, but you know where it ends. This has that same kind of feel. It's a great play. You should check it out.
That's all, folks.
It's Grave of the Fireflies. That's my rating. I'm gonna go cry now because I haven't done that enough. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know. We'll see. But have a good day. See ya.